Welcome to Penn Hills Indians Football 95. It's week 5 of the WPIAL season. The 4-0 Penn Hills Indians take on the Mckeesport Tigers in week 2 of Quad East Conference play. Both teams 1-0. Bob, tonight's game for first place, but I think bigger things are Penn Hills looking to establish themselves as the dominant team in the Quad East.
I think it's a big test. They survived a big test last week, and the upstart Plum Mustangs did the Penn Hills Indians in the exciting 35-28 double overtime win. Mckeesport, they haven't lost a conference game since 1993. Last year they had the dream season going 15-0, winning the state championship and the WPIAL championship. And I think one way to look at it, and Mckeesport definitely looks at it this way, they're the top dog. They're at the top of the mountain. Until someone knocks them off, they are still the #1 team in the Quad East, so it's a big test.
Mckeesport Tigers, they run the wishbone offense. Their leading rusher this season, quarterback Bill Isber, but he's also not afraid to put the ball in the air.
Well, he will throw the football, though. They mirror Penn Hills in that case, where if they don't have to throw it, they won't throw it. They'll throw it to keep you honest. Last week, Mckeesport completed only one pass. It was a 20-yard touchdown pass from Isber to Monta Stifford. And Isber, as you said, their leading rusher, so they run the option attack, and he's not afraid to tuck it underneath and run the football upfield.
And you know the Penn Hills Indian offense, they're run, but they can throw it if they can. Neil Gordon says he'll run it up the middle, and he'll run it all day. If they don't stop it, he's just going to keep running the play.
Well, if you don't stop it, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's how the expression goes. Dwayne Thompson averaging over 6 yards a carry. You have Victor Strader averaging over 5 yards a carry, and as a team, they're close to 5 yards a carry, so they've been very successful on the ground. And last week, they showed success throwing the football against Plum. Lenny Gilmer in the second half was 3 of 3, and he was 5 of 7, I believe, on the evening last week, and almost 100 yards. So they did have some success throwing the ball last week.
Obviously a big test tonight for the Penn Hills Indian defense, but a big key, special teams, the kicking game.
The kicking game will be a key. We've had Dave Zakia do a fine job all year. And for Mckeesport Tigers, they like to pull a little trickery. They've attempted 4 onside kicks already this year. And maybe we'll see it again tonight. Who knows? But Penn Hills will be prepared for Mckeesport's kicking game.
They also ran 3 last week again, Woodland Hills. But also tonight, expect the Penn Hills Indians to try to block some kicks.
That's always the key to the game. Special teams can turn a game around one way or the other via the return or a block here. And I think you're going to look for that tonight from the Penn Hills special teams.
The Penn Hills Indians, Mckeesport Tigers, both 1-0. The Indians tonight looking to end the Mckeesport Tigers' 19-game winning streak. Sit back, relax. Coming up next, the Penn Hills Indians, the Mckeesport Tigers, right here on Penn Hills Indians Football 95. Very pleasant good evening to you, along with my broadcast partner, Bob Orquist. I'm Bill Navarre. Great to have you along on a Friday night. And Bob, what a battle tonight will be. The Mckeesport Tigers, 19 straight conference wins.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the pregame, it's been since 1993 that the Tigers have lost a conference game in the Quad East. And we mentioned the dream season last year, and Penn Hills was the closest team coming to knock them off last year. An exciting game at Tiger Stadium in Mckeesport. They were done in by the outstanding running back of Penn Hills and the great individual talent, Jermaine Cromartie.
Cromartie's touchdown run with under a minute to go last week proved to be the winning points as Mckeesport knocked off Penn Hills 21-14. And also the following week, that victory hurt Penn Hills dearly as well because of the many injuries. Penn Hills banged up, goes into Woodland Hills the following week and loses again in the final minute. The 2 losses end up knocking them out of the playoffs. One of the best teams in WPIAL sitting out of the playoffs last season.
Well, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate you right off the get-go. The new proud father, Bill Navarre is. His son, Joseph Matthew. Did I get that right?
Joseph Matthew.
Joseph
yes.
Matthew, 8 pounds, 4 ounces. And congratulations to you and your lovely wife, Helen.
Last week's exciting double overtime victory, I think, put my wife Helen into labor on Saturday. Had the baby early Sunday morning. Mama and baby doing well. Thanks a lot, Papa.
And they fit it right in around the game schedule, so it was good.
I asked her going into we knew the baby was due October 4th, Wednesday night, the middle night of this will be broadcast. I asked her, please, no Friday nights and not on October 7th, which is also my birthday. The Penn Hills Indians kicking off to the Mckeesport Tigers. Dave Zakia to kick. Zakia pooches the ball short. The ball taken by Mckeesport at the 26-yard line. And they'll take over at their own, looks like 37 to start the game. Mckeesport Tigers run the wishbone offense led by number 5 quarterback Billy Isber. also the leading rusher for the Tigers. One pass last week against Woodland Hills was a 20-yard touchdown pass. And Isbert leads the way again, and he goes nowhere. Tries to fall forward for a yard. The officials will give it to him, but the Penn Hills defense stacking up the Mckeesport offensive line early on. Get to the Penn Hills Indians starting defense in a moment. Isbert with the pitch, and the ball is fumbled in the backfield, and it looks like Corey Connors of the Indians comes up with it. The ball was pitched to Rashad, number 32, Dupree Patterson of the Mckeesport Tigers. And Corey Connors, Johnny on the spot, jumps on the football, and the Indians will start their first offensive possession at the Mckeesport 33-yard line, and what a big break for the Indians.
Give Corey Connors credit, too, because it looked like Patterson was going to fall on the football as it was rolling around, but Connors came in like a shot, and he made the recovery.
Looks like a little mix-up on the Penn Hills offense. Number 77 running into the play,
Kevin McCoy. Also Ronnie Graham. They're going to have to call timeout.
Call timeout. The Penn Hills Indians wasted timeout on some offensive confusion early. Neil Gordon is going to go out and have a few choice words with the offense, I believe. Coach Gordon prides himself on the preparedness of his team, and mental mistakes like that are not acceptable. You see him calling to Ronnie Graham. See number 3 quarterback Lenny Gilmer starting tonight for the Penn Hills Indians. 85 BJ DiNatale, 89 Ronnie Graham. Number 22, big game last week, the little big man Dwayne Thompson in there in the backfield. Also number 55, Jared Smith at center, flanked by Mike White, 75. Lamont Gibson, 65. And Gilmer's first handoff to the game is to the little big man, Dwayne Thompson, who scatters for a couple. 21, Victor Strader, also starting tonight for the Indians. Augie Livingston, number 28. Corey Connors, number 69, in early. He gets replaced by Kevin McCoy. And Ronnie Graham also coming out. Jeremy George replacing Graham, the psychotic one, I like to call him. We'll see why on defense. Power I formation for the Indians, and again it's the little big man. Scampering for a few more. The Indians will have third and about 4. And Bob Orquist, this is a very stingy Mckeesport defense. They graduated the likes of Brandon Short last year, but they still have a lot of kids coming back, and they're not much lacking from last season.
Well, the key to their defense, Josh Lefkowitz, a defensive end at 6', 245, and also linebacker Tom Knight, very, very active. He is 6', 220. You will see number 81 for Mckeesport around the football a lot tonight.
Ronnie Graham wide to the far side, BJ DiNatale to the near side. Split backfield for the Penn Hills Indians. And again, they go to the ground. And again, it's Dwayne Thompson who gets close to the 26-yard line. They'll be about 3 yards short of the first down. And we'll see if they bring in Dave Zakia. I don't think so. But Dave Zakia has the leg where he could make a field goal from this range.
Indeed, he could, but this is a case where if you turn the ball over, you're not going to give up that much field position and go for a 4th down. The bonus, obviously, if you make the first down, you keep possession and you keep the drive alive inside Mckeesport's 30. But should you gain no yards, Mckeesport will start out at their own 26, so not very bad or very good field position for the Tigers.
So we'll call it 4th and 4 for the Indians, and Gilmer's going to pass. Quick look into Ronnie Graham, and he catches it at the 22-yard line, but the officials call it incomplete. Graham did a nice job to scoop it out, but the officials didn't give him the call. And the ball will go over to the Mckeesport Tiger offense, and a wasted opportunity by the Penn Hills offense after the turnover.
Well, but it looked like he caught it, but it might have slid through his hands after he was on the ground. And I think by his reaction, Ronnie Graham's reaction, when he came running off the field, I think he knew that it was a good call by the official. Mckeesport will huddle on the sideline as they did last year. They put in this new offensive scheme, the no-huddle offense for the Tigers.
So the Tigers go to a split backfield formation out of their usual wishbone. Damian Simmons, number 33. But Isber will keep it, and he gets sucked under the Penn Hills defensive line. minutes to go, first quarter. A scoreless game. Penn Hills Indians and the Mckeesport Tigers both 1-0 in the Quad East Conference. Big matchup in week 2. The conference schedule is the same year in and year out as far as order of teams you play. Now second down for Mckeesport. And Isberg gives to the first man through, Casey Holtzman. And Holtzman looks like he'll pick up about 5. So it'll be third and a long 5 now for the Mckeesport Tiger offense.
Billy Isberg, as maybe more than any other quarterback in the Quad East, is the key to an offense because it's his ball handling, his decision making that is the key to Mckeesport's offense.
Second back through is Dupree Patterson, who fumbled earlier, but Patterson picks up 2, and now it'll be fourth down for the Mckeesport Tiger offense, and they bring in the punting unit, and I know the Penn Hills Indians will be looking for some punt blocks, but we'll see if they go for it early on, or if they're going to set up the return with the little big man, Dwayne Thompson, number 22, back to receive.
And again, they should get good field position up or close to midfield. They had excellent field position after the fumble, starting at the Mckeesport 33, but they turned that opportunity over on downs.
Number 81, Tom Knight, back to punt for the Tigers. Bad snap, and they sucked under. Another break for the Penn Hills Indian defense. The offense will take over early, and we talked about the Penn Hills Indian punt rush.
Well, there it was. Mckeesport had protection on it, but they didn't do a good job with the snap. Knight fumbled it, and he didn't pick it up. It gets caught for a big loss, and again, great field position for Penn Hills.
So the Indians will take over first and 10 at the Mckeesport 17-yard line. Wasted an earlier opportunity on a Mckeesport fumble. Hoggy Livingston and Dwayne Thompson in the backfield. And it's Hoggy Livingston. And Livingston will go for the Penn Hills Indian touchdown. Hoggy Livingston scatters 17 yards, and the Indians are up early with 7:03 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 6, Mckeesport nothing, and Dave Zakia will come on for the point after. We haven't seen much from Hoggy Livingston so far through the first 4 games. Now here he goes, the first carry tonight, 17 yards and a touchdown. Perhaps the case of Mckeesport keen on Dwayne Thompson.
Took him 19 seconds to get in, and on the year, Livingston had only 12 carries for 22 yards. 8 was his longest run. This will be his tops on the year, the 17-yard run for the touchdown.
Zakia to kick out of the Victor Strader hold. Jeremy George on the snap. Snap low, hold good. The kick is up. And the kick goes wide to the right. Victor Strader did a nice job to get the low snap up. But Dave Zakia pooching the ball just off to the right, but the Indians still up by a score of 6-0, 7:03 to go first quarter. Also flanked tonight by Rich Emmert of the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. Make sure you catch Richie Emmert's articles. So he's writing tonight on the Penn Hills Indians. You can catch him each weekday in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
So 2 big breaks in the early going for Penn Hills. They can't take advantage of the Dupree Patterson fumble, although it does have a field position factor. Penn Hills looking for a punt block tonight, and they didn't really have a chance to. Knight fumbled the snap, and because of the pressure, he was dropped for a loss of 16, and it took Penn Hills 1 play. Gary Livingston touchdown.
Number 21, Monta Sifford, down deep for the Mckeesport Tigers. Dave Zakia's last kick went to the 30. We'll see how he does this time, and he pooches the ball up in the air again. And Sifford will take it at the 10-yard line. Gets out to the 20-yard line, breaks a tackle, but he's brought down from behind. Looked like number 36, Scott Davis, in on the tackle.
Davis did a good job because Holtzman broke the initial penetration from the Penn Hills wedge, and it was Davis or no one. If he gets outside of Scott Davis, it's a touchdown. However, Mckeesport starts their 3rd drive at their own 25.
So now the Mckeesport Tiger offense comes back on their 3rd possession. Early first quarter, 6:41 to go. The Indians up by 6. First man through is Holtzman. Holtzman gets sucked under the Penn Hills defensive line, and with a line the size of the Penn Hills defense, I don't think the Mckeesport Tiger running game will really fare all that well unless they get some big holes. I expect perhaps Billy Isber may go to the air a little bit. Number 80, Paul Ball, wide to the far side. And Isber is going to throw as he rolls out to his right. And he just overthrows Dupre Patterson out in the flat, and it'll bring up 3rd and long now for the Mckeesport Tigers.
That's the kind of passage you'll see Mckeesport go to. Last week they had only one completion. It was the 20-yarder touchdown pass to Martha Stifford. This time Patterson was open short in the flat. Isber's pass a little too tall.
3rd and 9, and again the Mckeesport Tigers go to the wishbone offense. This time on to Sifford, number 21. And he replaces Damian Simmons. Isber was the keeper, but he pitches back, and falling in the backfield is Dupre Patterson. He'll lose a couple, and it'll be 4th down now for the Mckeesport Tigers. And after that last punt, I'm sure head coach George Smith is wary about this punting game.
And again, the first pitch to Patterson resulted in the fumble. This time, good contained by Don Chichilla. He just shrugged the block of Montes Sifford and was right there. Even if Patterson did not slip to the turf, Chichilla had great coverage.
Second home game of the season for the Penn Hills Indians earlier this year. Week 2, they beat the North Hills Indians here at U-Haul Stadium. Nice kick this time. Tom Ball looking, and the Indians do try to block it. Interference will be caught against Mckeesport on number 22, Dwayne Thompson. Not given the room to field the punt. Call should go against number 41, Eric Bodstibner. And the ball hit Mckeesport Tiger defender.
It hit the Mckeesport defender first, and then it hit Thompson. If it hit the Mckeesport defender first, it would be a dead football. But the flag came down, so it may be interference on the catch. Thompson had no room to come up and make the catch. That's what it is.
Interference will go against Mckeesport. Now do they attack on an additional 10 yards from the spot of the foul? Or do the Penn Hills Indians retain possession?
The Penn Hills gets possession, I believe. It should be from the spot of the foul. That's where the penalty should go on that interference. It's a post-position foul, I think.
Penalty will be declined. If they accepted the penalty, Mckeesport would have had to have re-kicked. Although I really can't blame Penn Hills for wanting Mckeesport to
well, maybe
re-kick.
I'm fogged on that rule, but I thought it was tacked on from the spot of the foul, but it would have been a re-kick, and in this case, you got a field position at midfield, so maybe a good decision by Penn Hills not to take that penalty.
With all the rule changes the WPIAL has thrown upon us this season, perhaps that is one. Lenny Gilmer's rolling, looking to throw. Wide open is Jeremy George across to 30. One man to beat brings him down inside the 30. Jeremy George wide open across the middle. If it wasn't for Jeremiah Cromarty, Jeremy George would go for 6. So the Indians go from the 49 to the 23.
28 yards.
28-yard pickup, so says Bob Orquist. And Ronnie Graham comes off the field. Damian Germany wide to the far side. And the Indians go back to the little big man, Dwayne Thompson, who gets close to a Penn Hills Indian first down. Thompson inside the 15, just inside the 14, needs to get to the 13 for a first down. We'll call it a pickup of 9. Bringing up 2nd and 1 for the Indians at the 14. 4:25 to go on a running clock, first quarter. Along with Bob Orquist, I'm Bill Navarre. Great to have you along on a beautiful Friday evening in Penn Hills. Good crowd on hand tonight for the Penn Hills Indians. I see Penn Hills Mayor Bill DeSantis in attendance tonight. Great to see the community at large represented by the mayor. And Gilmer on the keeper will pick up the first down. On a pickup of about 3 down to the 11. And the Indians will have 1st and 10 from just outside the 10. They will be able to pick up a first down.
Well, they gave you a quick look at Eric Gordon from midfield, and the pass worked effectively. 28 yards to Jeremy George, the pass of Len Gilmer, but then right back to the football ground, right back to Neil Gordon's bread and butter football. Dwayne Thompson with a big pickup of 9 yards. Then the safe play, the quarterback keeper, the third first down in the first quarter for the Indians, and they got first and 10 at the 11 of Mckeesport.
Of course, the Indians, interesting, they threw on first down. And here goes Dwayne Thompson up the middle, down to the 1-yard line. First and goal for the Indians from the 1. And the little big man running like a big man again. We saw him with some big runs last week against Plum. 5 touchdowns.
It's be short.
Dwayne Thompson. They're going to spot it at the 2. So it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 2. And I think the Indians really have it down to waste here. They can get creative if so desired, but the way the running attack is going, just punch it in from here.
No need to get creative, because if you're stopped on a bread and butter run, you still have 2 downs to either get a first down. You don't have to score with 2 yards. You can't pick up a first down inside the 1-yard line.
All right, for the Indians, second man through, Dwayne Thompson into the end zone. Thompson with his 6th touchdown in 2 weeks. Gives the Indians a 12-0 lead with 2:58 to go first quarter. And so far, this team, the Mckeesport Tigers, do not look like a team defending a state championship. Tigers 3-1 on the year last week. Upset Woodland Hills at Mckeesport by a score of 14-13. Indians going for 2, and why not? Pitch back to Victor Strader on the outside, looking for some running room into the end zone. Fumbles the ball, picked up by Gilmer, and he cuts it in for the conversion. I don't know if Strader got in for the conversion. If not, Lenny Gilmer picks up the fumble and scats it in. And the Indians pick up 2 points to make it an even 14-0. So did you see if Strader got in or Gilmer on the fumble?
Gilmer on the fumble, either way. Gilmer will get credit for the run in. As Strader fumbled at about the 1, and Gilmer was Johnny on the spot. They get the 2-point conversion, and Dwayne Thompson, 6 touchdowns now in the last 2 games, 5 in the big overtime win last. He has now 8 touchdowns on the season. Does the little man, Dwayne Thompson. This time more conventional, up over the top. You're going to call that a plunge, not really a run. And it's 14-0 Penn Hills.
So Lenny Gilmer will get credited with a 2-point fumble return. Interesting how we'll see that in the box score tomorrow.
I'm sure the Tribune Review will have it right.
No doubt, with Rich Emmert on hand. Of course, they had it right last week. Post-Gazette incorrectly having Victor Strader with 3 touchdowns, and Thompson had all 5. Nice kickoff by Dwayne Thompson, taken by Monta Sifford. Sifford with some running room up the gut, but he's brought down at the 35. Donnie Chichilla on the tackle? It sure looked like it, number 40.
That's who it was.
And Don Ireland, the PA announcer, he says it is Don Chichilla. So now the Mckeesport Tigers with their 4th possession of the first quarter. 2:40 on a running clock. 14-0 Penn Hills. Isber on the keeper, and he's brought down by Jeremy George et al. And the Indians looking to strip the ball. We'll credit Jeremy George as getting Isber from behind for the loss. And there he is again, Jeremy George. What a year he's having.
And Bill, I think it's George's job to key on Isber. He's been looking for him every play. He kept it that time, and once again, King Jeremy the Wicked was right there to make the tackle for a loss of, well, actually a half a yard. We'll give him no gain.
A loss of a half a yard. Isber gives to the first man through this time. I think it's number 31, at least it looks like. Number 31, Casey Holtzman. And it is. So now 3rd and 7 for Mckeesport. They go to a single setback. Number 30, Tim Sweeney in. Twins, in fact, we'll call it Twins to the near side. They have a back in the slot.
Almost trips as Patterson is in the slot.
And Isber's looking. The Indians maybe call for offside. And Jeremy George forcing a fumble. The ball picked up and falling down is Garrett Livingston.
It's called an incomplete pass.
Oh, my. They call an incomplete pass on the play. No flags. It'll be 4th down. I believe the ball was clearly a fumble as George came from behind to strip the ball from Isber. And as you said, Jeremy George keying on Billy Isber.
That time it was just pure speed. Isber was rolling to his right. George came from the left, chased him down, and I don't even think he had his arm in motion. He just got hit. And Garrett Livingston had the fumble, and Penn Hills were at an excellent field position inside the Mckeesport 30.
And again, the Penn Hills Indians look to block the punt, and they just get the ball away.
That's going to be terrible.
It'll be called for roughing. The flag will be brought on. Now the question is, can it be roughing if he fumbles the snap? I guess it will be because the flag is there. Flag dropped at the 25, and the Mckeesport Tigers get a break. And
I think it's the roughing that's waved off if the ball is deflected. And it was not deflected in any way. So that'll be the initial first down of the game for Mckeesport comes via the penalty.
So now is the penalty marked off from the I guess it will be marked off from the line of scrimmage and not the spot of the foul. So it will be good enough for the Mckeesport Tigers' first down for the first quarter, and it comes with 1:08 to play. And we talked before the game, the Penn Hills Indians punt block will be coming tonight. They feel they can get in and block the kicks.
They went for it again. Bad handling of the snap by Knight. He got tackled earlier for loss of 16. This time he barely got it off, and Penn Hills did not deflect it. They get called for the roughing. If he barely got that off because if he fumbles and hesitates anymore, he would have been tackled for a loss once again.
Now single setback for Mckeesport Tigers. Isber with the keeper, and oh my! Isber was introduced to Corey Connors. Talk about objects in motion, staying in motion. I think Billy Isber had another force acted upon him. So now 21, Monta Sifford, Casey Holzman 31, and Dupre Patterson 32 in the backfield. Paul Ball split to the near side. Isber with the keeper. He does pitch back this time to Monta Sifford, looking to get on the outside. We'll give a pickup of 3. And nice pressure on Isber by number 43, John Davidson. He got in the face of Isber, who quickly got the pitch back to Sifford. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. And what a grand first quarter it was for the Penn Hills Indians. After one, Penn Hills 14, Mckeesport nothing. You're watching Penn Hills Indians 95. Second quarter about to get underway with the Penn Hills Indians up by a score of 14-0. And the Mckeesport Tigers will have a 3rd and 4 from just outside the Penn Hills 41. So now, Bob, if you're the Mckeesport Tigers, do you go to the running game, which has been pretty much stuffed? You're going to put the ball in the air. They have twins to the far side. We'll see what Isber does. Paul Ball comes in motion. Goes back. On to Sifford. Also split to the right, and looks like the receivers jumped early. There's the call. And the pass is incomplete to Dupre Patterson. The flags come very quickly. The receivers jumped early. We'll see on the call.
Bill, I think we'll pass on that play.
Good call, Paul. That's why you're the best color man in football. So now the question is, if they jumped early, is it an illegal? Okay, call it illegal motion, so they can't decline it.
So I think they would decline that. Isber now 0-3 in the passing department, and they really do not have any deep patterns per se. They probably have a few, but they don't really unveil it. Another time, this is the 3rd time that Isber's tried to pass. The 3rd time, although one pass didn't really get off because of Jeremy George's pursuit in the sack, that they tried to hit a receiver in the flat. So they're not really looking downfield far. Even if number 32, Dupre Patterson, catches that, he's still about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
Watch Mckeesport. I have a feeling they're going to try to fake this kick. But we shall see. No, they do try to get the ball away. No rush this time. The Indians will look on the return. 22, Dwayne Thompson takes it at the 12, looking to get to the outside, and he's still on his feet. He gets hit, and he's still running. Holy cow, Dwayne Thompson, does the boy ever go down? I don't think so. Finally gets knocked out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. And that was a nifty return. He got crushed at about the 19. Somehow he came out of that, Bob, and was able to pick up an extra 5 yards.
Well, it's because a man is small in stature. You can't just hit him. He got popped with a good pop, but you can't just hit a guy and expect him to fall down. You've got to wrap your arms, and they didn't wrap up Dwayne Thompson. We've seen it all year. Because Dwayne Thompson checks in at 5'9" at 170 doesn't mean he's going to go down as soon as you hit him. There was a prime case. He got knocked back 5 yards, but kept coming forward.
There's Victor Strader popping over the 25-yard line. Got a pickup of about a yard for Strader.
Officially on the stats, Thompson is averaging 8.5 yards a carry. Strader 5.5 yards a carry, and the team is averaging 5.5 yards a carry. So that is the outstanding job the Penn Hills rushing offense has done, and you got to give a lot of that credit to the offensive line.
Approaching 11 minutes on a running clock. First half, Penn Hills up by 14. And I think this will be a case of Penn Hills Indians just looking to try to chew out some yardage and get that clock down. And there goes Hoggy Livingston with his second carry of the game, looking to break to the outside. Livingston will get the first down for the Penn Hills Indians. Nice run by Hoggy. Haven't seen much of him lately. But here he is tonight. 2 carries, 1 for a touchdown, 1 for a long first down.
And as I said, coming into the game, only 12 carries, and his long was 8. He has surpassed that on both of his runs. A 17-yard touchdown, and he picks up an even 10 yards on that carry. So, welcome back, Hoggy Livingston.
Interesting point to note, though, the Penn Hills Indians as a team averaging 5 yards per rush. So why put the ball in the air if you're... Victor Strader over the left side, looking for some running room, and he picks up another first down for the Indians. And that Penn Hills offensive line is just blowing off the ball. You and I talked before game, you expected the Indians to go over to the left side. And that's where they have for a couple of big games.
Indeed, and there Carl Cash makes the tackle, but their offensive line the entire year has done the job. Gibson, White, Corey Connors, Kevin McCoy when he's in there, Ted Fitzpatrick, Jared
Left side
Smith.
of the offensive line is, of course, Mike White, Kevin McCoy, and Jeremy George, but this time they come to the right with Victor Strader on the sweep. And Strader looking for some running room around the outside. And Strader picks up another Indian first down. And the Indians just chewing up the yardage on the ground.
This one will be close to a first down. They're going to call for a measurement.
Needs to get 2. It looks like the 43-yard line. Can't see where they spotted the ball on the near side because Coach Timko is standing in the way. Well, we'll see the reaction of the coaching staff. Dino Felino also on hand in the red jacket. Let's see where they mark the football. Looks like it'll be good enough for a first down, and it is. Another first down for the Indians. So the Indians just chewing up yardage, clock, and first downs in the first half. Put the ball into the air once, a nice complete pass to Jeremy George to set up the Penn Hills Indians' second down. They put the ball in the air twice, says Bob Orquist. And Victor Strader still running with the football. Strader picks up 8. Last home game, Strader ran for 177 yards against North Hills. And it looks like Strader on his way to trying to duplicate that feat. Of course, with Strader, Thompson, and Livingston all running the ball well, why not mix things up and move the ball around, spread it around?
The first pass was an incompletion to Ronnie Graham.
Oh, that's right. The one we thought was completed.
Thought he might have made the catch.
That's right. And it's Hoggy Livingston over the left side. He gets the first down. He'll get down to the 30-yard line. And with 8:52 to go on a stopped clock while they reset the sticks, the Indians will have a 1st and 10 just outside the Mckeesport 30-yard line. And if the Indians pick up another touchdown here, Mckeesport, they will have their backs to the wall.
They've just dominated this game defensively. Penn Hills offensively, they're doing a great job. 7 first downs, only 1 for Mckeesport. That came via the penalty.
Thompson and Livingston in the backfield. Gilmore will give to Dwayne Thompson, who gets across the 25-yard line. We'll call it down to the 24. Pickup of about 6 yards. The Indians now faced with 2nd and 4, and the Indians, they just seem to be doing what they want to do. Run, run, run.
And they're doing it well. Strader, Thompson, and Livingston have done a great job running the football. They're picking up huge chunks of yardage every time they touch the football.
The Indians often criticized because they don't put the ball into the air that much, but averaging for over 5 yards per carry. Why do it? And again, it's the little big man getting close to the 20. We'll call it a pickup of about 2 to the 22. 3rd and short for the Indians. That's probably the shortest run of the game so far for the Indians.
Thompson's first carry from scrimmage was a 1-yarder, and this is the 3rd time he has a 2-yard carry. Of course, he had the 2-yard punt for the touchdown.
Nice setting you up nicely, Bob.
Thank you very much.
All right, formation, Strader and Livingston with Thompson from behind. Short yardage situation for the Indians. And it'll be the little big man crosses the 20 for an Indian first down. This time he ran behind, looked like Damon Gibson. Right up the middle between Gibson and Smith. A little blast play up the middle. The Indians pick up 4 yards, a first down, 1st and 10 from the Mckeesport 18, approaching 7 minutes to go running clock, along with Bob Orquist, Bill Navari along with you. Great to have you with us on a Friday night. And Thompson slips in the backfield. He'll lose 2, and that will be the shortest run for the Indians tonight.
No denying that, and you can't even credit a tackle as Thompson just slipped trying to make a cut and fell at the 20. But they're just doing what they want offensively and defensively tonight, and they're making a mark. Penn Hill's unable to capitalize on an early turnover, but since then they've just done the job tremendously. And of course, you know they're having they're very impressed because they like to run the football, and they're doing it very, very effectively. Typical Penn Hill's offense, controlling the game with that running attack.
We'll call it 2nd and 12 from the 20-yard line. Again, the power I formation. And this time it's Victor Strader on the scissors play off the left side. Strader will get down to the 16-yard line, picks up 4, but now 3rd down, and we'll call it 8 for the Indians.
Well, Strader had a decision once he got through the hole. Should he cut it to the inside? Should he cut it left to the far sideline? He tried to cut it left to the far sideline, and a good play by Mckeesport defense to read that. Although Strader does pick up 4 yards, but if he cuts it to the inside, he may be able to break it into the end zone.
So now we'll see what the Indians do. Jeremy George comes off the field. Power I formation for the Indians. B.J. DiNatale left end. Ronnie Graham on the right. We'll see if they're going to play action, if they will run the ball. And Gilmer will roll to his right. Chase Stout throws the ball down to the 5-yard line, and it's complete to Ronnie Graham. They'll mark it at the 5.5. 1st and goal now for the Indians, and as we said, the Indians can go to the air if they need to. Nice catch by Ronnie.
They'll pick up about 10 on that play, and Graham, the leading receiver, the favorite target of Lenny Gilmer, 5 catches for 76 yards for Ronnie Graham. 1st and goal for the Indians.
We'll see what the Indians do here. They'll mark the ball just inside the 7. And it's the little big man over the left side. Dwayne Thompson scampering down to about the 2. And Thompson just doesn't quit.
He runs very hard, as we documented his size earlier, and he is definitely a strong, powerful runner. Gets down to the 5, and he has a nose for that the goal line in the end zone. He definitely likes to get in there, and as he pumped his legs even harder as he got down to about the 2 before Mckeesport was finally able to shove him back. But the Big Red sitting pretty, 2nd and goal from the 2.
Jeremy George in now, replacing Ronnie Graham on the right side. Power I formation again. Livingston and Strader in front of Thompson. And this time again, it's Dwayne Thompson spinning, not going down. We'll give it a pickup of about a yard. We'll mark it at the 1. We'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. I think if you're the Indians, you go for it on 2 downs here, inside the 1. If you don't make it, you still up by 14. And the Tigers are pinned inside the 1.
We'll see number 50 for Penn Hills, Teddy Fitzpatrick, into the game. And that offensive line that has played so well for the Indians all year.
White and McCoy, but we come to this side behind Gibson, and it's Dwayne Thompson in for the touchdown. Dwayne Thompson's second touchdown of the game, a 1-yard plunge, we'll call it. The Indians now up by 20 with 4:01 to go in the first half. And Bob, did you expect this kind of a game?
Absolutely not. Bill Penn Hills just has this game under control. They are dominating both sides of the football in an impressive 16-play drive. And again, the man who seems to, if you reverse his initials, instead of DT, you got TD, and that's what you get from Dwayne Thompson.
Of course, if you reverse his numbers, you still get 22.
Very good.
That was good in math. Jeremy George with the snap. Strader on the hold. Zakio at the kick. All that for one more point. 21-0 Penn Hills, 4:01 to go in the first half. Well, the Indians are just doing whatever they want. They are having their way.
They are making a statement both offensively and defensively. And Dwayne Thompson picks up his second touchdown and his 7th in the last 2 weeks. And it's a 21-0 lead. And with a team like Mckeesport, they rely on big running plays. They don't have a great passing attack. It's hard to come back. They're going to have to try to chip away. But with the way the Penn Hills defense is playing, it may be tough.
Zakia will kick off. We talked about Mckeesport and throwing the onside kicks. So far, they haven't had the chance to kick the ball off. But they will kick off in the second half. And down by 3 touchdowns, I won't be surprised if they go for the onside kick.
Impressive drive of 16 plays in 17 minutes and 39 seconds. Penn Hills held the ball. Starting from their own 24, they go 76 yards for the touchdown.
Zakia waiting for the official to say, go ahead. And here we go. Zakia with a nice high kickoff. Taken inside the 5 by Jeremiah Cromarty, looking for some running room up the middle. Cromarty gets a nice return out to the 30-yard line and showing the speed of the Cromarty family.
Yeah, we definitely remember Jermaine from last year's great individual effort. And he was a dynamite athlete, and Jeremiah Cromarty has a lot of the same characteristics.
Of course, you remember last year, Jermaine Cromarty with the interception return for a touchdown in the first quarter, also with under a minute to go. A long touchdown run, 28 yards, I believe. That's the difference in last year's ball game. Isber this time gives to number 20, Donate Allen. And Allen picks up 3. And that Penn Hills defensive line is stingy. See number 43 on the near side, John Davidson, Corey Connor, 69, Damon Gibson, 65. 75 is Mike White, but keep your eye on the far side, 33, Jeremy George. And Isber looking to throw the football at the ball across the 40. We'll mark it at the 41. It'll be good enough for Mckeesport first down. I believe they're second of the game. If not, they certainly haven't gotten that many more. It is their second of the game.
That is their second. The first one came via the roughing the punter penalty.
So the Indians ensuring some sort of a prevent defense. Victor Strader again playing center field. Damian Germany also on the defensive coverage. Number 40 is, of course, Donnie Chichilla. Dwayne Thompson on the far side of the field. Linebackers Livingston and Graham. Isber this time gives to number 31 across the 50-yard line. That's Rob Carter, or excuse me, Carter's 31 for the Indians, Casey Holtzman. The Indians have had the ball the majority of the first half. I believe 17-plus minutes. The half is only 24 minutes long, and we still have 2.5 to go. So Paul Ball split to the far side. Again, the wishbone. And again, it's Donate Allen. And you see Ronnie Graham trying to strip him of the ball. We'll give Allen about 4. 2nd and 6, approaching 2 minutes to go, first half. Penn Hills 21, Mckeesport nothing. What a difference from last week's shootout. Isber again looking for Paul Ball, and the ball is almost caught. Nice individual effort by Ball, but he's unable to come up with it in the right flat. Bring up 4th down for Mckeesport, and I'm sure, or 3rd down, excuse me. They flipped the sticks quickly. But I'm sure if they don't pick up the 1st down here, I'm sure Mckeesport will probably go for it on 4th down by 3 touchdowns. Isber looks up to audible at the line of scrimmage. He gives it to Donate Allen, who will pick up about 3. Now 4th down. And I think it was a case of the Mckeesport Tigers looking at 2 downs. So we're seeing a lot of Donate Allen here in the 2nd quarter. And they will go for it.
Give Allen a gain of 2, so it'll be 4th and about 4.
Mike Radisick on the near side. Split, or Ratesic. And he got movement in the line of scrimmage. Everybody moved except for the center. That'll knock off 5, and we'll see if Mckeesport still decides to go for it on 4th down. And quite frankly, I don't think I could blame them with a minute and 6 to go in the 1st half. And they will go for it, it appears. I don't see Tom Knight coming in to punt.
They don't have any shotgun formations in here, because this is a case where you might drop your quarterback into a shotgun, or you're close enough where he could give you the quick kick and the pooch punt to pin Penn Hills back as time is waning here in the 2nd quarter.
Quick pass over to the near side, number 88, Shane McCall. It'll be close for the 1st down. I believe it will be marked just short. Looks like the Indians will take over with 41 seconds to go, and they will. So we'll see if the Indians will be content to run out the clock, if they're going to look for another score. And we may just see Air Gordon. Of course, the clock beginning to roll with 38 seconds to go. The Indians may just try to let the clock run out. Not in any kind of a hurry-up mode. See if the Indians simply run it into the line and let the half run out.
Pretty wise just to kneel on it, although they don't have their safety set back there.
And Gilmer on the draw play to Victor Strader. Safe play for the Indians. Strader will pick up 2. 14 seconds to go, running clock, and that should be the end of the 1st half. We'll see if the Indians set up for anything quickly. They do not.
They call timeout.
Will be called with 8 seconds to go. Fedco chopper flying overhead.
See, there are balloons down there for little baby Fedco. There's no balloons out there, although we do have a sign for little baby Joseph. We do have a balloon behind us.
Yes, Mom was kind enough to bring the...
Oddly enough, it says it's a boy.
It's a boy. Go figure. So now 8 seconds to go. This should be the final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty. Gilmer dropping back. He has Jeremy George wide open down the field, but Gilmer slips at the 32-yard line, running out the 1st half. But Jeremy George had broken behind the defense and was wide open, Bob.
Indeed, that was a play. One shot at the end zone, and George was wide open, and Gilmer was just going to get back there and throw it as far as he could. But we've seen for the 2nd time tonight, Thompson slips and Gilmer slips for a loss of 8 as the half ends, and I'm sure Penn Hills very happy to go in 21-zip at the half.
So 1 half of play in the books. Penn Hills 21, Mckeesport nothing. You're watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95. Stay tuned. Coming up shortly, the Penn Hills Indian Marching Band. Penn Indians able to come from behind last week to pull out a double overtime victory over the Plum Mustangs. Now we'll see how they'll be able to do protecting a 21-point lead here in the second half. The Indians will receive the opening kickoff. Of course, we do expect, as Mckeesport has done 5 times already this season, onside kick. We wouldn't be surprised, and of course, neither would the Penn Indian coaching staff, who pride themselves in preparedness. And I'm sure they'll have the hands team up front.
Well, looking at the statistics, yearly statistics anyway, right now for Penn Hills, their big quarter has been the first and the third quarter. They have 21 points in each of those quarters, make it 35 in the first quarter after tonight's first quarter. And last week, of course, 2 touchdowns coming against Plum on the big runs by Dwayne Thompson. Thompson with 45 yards on 13 carries, and he has the 2 touchdown runs of 2 and 1 yards. Victor Strader has picked up 36 yards on 6 carries. And Garrett Livingston, 32 yards on 3 carries, including the 17-yard touchdown jaunt. Penn Hills with 116 total yards in the first half. They held Mckeesport to 29 yards on 22 offensive plays.
And it's a very potent Mckeesport offense to hold them on 29 yards to 1 half of play is quite a feat. So credit to Penn Hills Indian defense.
And credit them, more importantly, to stymie the vaunted Mckeesport rushing attack, holding them to 10 yards on 16 carries.
Of course, anytime you get the defending state champions up, you know it's going to be a big game, and if you can't get yourself up for that game, you certainly have to look deep inside yourself, and I'm sure the Indians are not looking past the Tigers to next week's big matchup against the Wolverines. So the matchups tonight in the Quad East, we have, of course, Penn Hills, Mckeesport. We have Woodland Hills, Gateway, Fox Chapel, and Plum. And Kiski will take on the Central Catholic Vikings, who are also looking to get in the WPIAL playoffs this year. And they have a darn good team playing in Oakland. So
Penn Hills does not have the hands team up there. They have the regular front line.
We'll see if Tom Knight kicks the ball away or he pooches it, and he does kick the ball away. And it'll be the little big man at the 14-yard line looking for some running room up the gut.
He's
and
gone.
Dwayne
Goodbye.
Thompson says goodnight to the Mckeesport Tigers. 86 yards for the touchdown. No flags on the play. And the little big man, just like that, puts the Indians up by 27. And Bob, last week, the first time Dwayne Thompson touched the ball in the second half, he runs 57 yards for a touchdown. Tonight, first time he touches it in this second half, he goes 86 yards on the kickoff return.
It took him 11 seconds to go 86 yards. And we talked in the pregame, special teams can help you or kill you. Kind of a killer for Mckeesport, and TDDT with his third touchdown of the evening.
86 yards in 11 seconds. That is a pretty fast Dwayne Thompson. It's a very fast Dwayne Thompson. Outran the Mckeesport defenders. And it's just a case that he just ran right up in the middle. Credit to Penn Hills special teams and their blocking. They just open it wide open for Thompson as Zakia's kick is good. The Indians now up 28-0. And I'm sure this is not the way George Smith wanted to start the second half for the Mckeesport Tigers. And I'm thinking if he had it over, he would have gone for the onside kick.
Well, I'm sure he didn't go in and tell his troops at halftime, give up the opening touchdown on the kickoff. That's all Dwayne Thompson. Saw the seam up the middle, and he was gone. He got past the initial wall that quickly, and you could see there was no one there to catch him from Mckeesport. And once he gets a step with that speed, forget about it.
Officially, it will be an 88-yard kickoff return. And this is a game the Penn Hills Indians wanted badly. They had the Mckeesport Tigers in the grasp last year, only to let it slip away in the final minute. And the Tigers went on to win the state championship.
Now, when you're in control of a game like this is where you want to play intelligent football. You don't want to make costly mistakes and let a team who obviously you have down like a 28-0 lead like the Indians have now over the Tigers. You don't want to do anything stupid. You just want to play safe, smart football the rest of the second half.
Don't forget the Mckeesport Tigers. They have not lost a conference game in 3 years. 19 straight they've won. Of course, that streak very much in jeopardy tonight as the Indians are in control, 28-0. Dave Zakia's kickoff taken at the 15 by Mckeesport. Tim Wire, Casey Holtzman on the return. So now we'll see if the Mckeesport Tigers stay in the wishbone running attack, or we'll see if Billy Isber put the ball into the air. And I think if you're the Mckeesport Tigers, you have to start taking chances.
They definitely need some kind of spark, and they have to try to open things up offensively. Getting 29 yards and a half just is not going to do it.
So now we'll see if the Penn Hills Indians defense still with the intensity. I'm sure they do. Isber hits, flags fly. Mckeesport Tigers fortunate to get the handoff off to Casey Holtzman. He'll pick up 3, but we'll see what there were no flags on the play.
You know what? You saw
a
football on the sideline go up. That's what you saw.
Oh, is that what it was?
Because I saw the same thing.
Oh, tell them to stop that.
It's okay. Stop that.
Isber again hands off. This time Damian Simmons. I think it's maybe a yard. I think it's the case of the Mckeesport Tigers thinking they're just trying to get points on the board and perhaps leave it in the hands of their defense. Penn Hills Indians with the gold pants on tonight with the red jerseys, looking a lot like the Florida State Seminoles. Their former head coach Andy Urbanik is the athletic director, and Jeremy George gets his hands into the air to knock down the Billy Isber pass. What a season Jeremy George is having.
Can't say enough about the inspired play of King Jeremy the Wicked. And he saw that pass, smelled it out again, a quick drop, a 2-step drop. Mckeesport is throwing every pass, and every pass play they attempt is short. And Jeremy George smelled it out, put the big paw up in the air and knocked the pass down. 4th and 5, and again, Mckeesport get back to punt, and it's been kind of an adventure tonight, their punting unit.
Strader and Thompson deep. Jeremy George also back to receive the punt. Short punt. Ball bounces. It'll go to Strader at the 23, looking for some running room. Strader up the middle. He'll be brought down at about the 38-yard line. And the Indians, after already putting a touchdown on the board in the second half, will get their first offensive possession. That's sort of redundant.
They'll start their own 37. And what this also does, Bill, we've seen Ronnie Graham, who is nursing the sore groin, not a groin pull, but kind of a tender area down there. He has not run the football. He has caught a couple passes, or at least caught one and had another one intended for him. He's played defense, but that gives that a chance to rest if he's only playing half the plays that he normally gets. And he'll get even that much more healthy, getting a week of rest of not running the football with that sore groin.
The Indians will give to Victor Strader, who plows his way for 7. He'll get out to the 45, 9:40 on a running clock, second half. Third quarter, 28-0, Penn Hills over Mckeesport, along with Bob Orquist, Bill Navari. Very happy to have you along on a Friday evening here in Penn Hills. Bob, late September, still a beautiful evening.
As compared to last week, it was definitely chilly and wet tonight. Definitely a beautiful late September evening, and the leaves are getting ready to turn, and that's football weather, and it's been a beautiful one tonight, especially for Penn Hills.
Dwayne Thompson gets the Indian first down. We'll give him 5. He'll get out to midfield. Clock will stop while the sticks reset, but the Indians still ground Gordon. Of course, you suspect that they might do a quick play-action pass? Or do you think the Indians will just keep continuing to grind it out? They have the success on the ground.
They're continuing to be successful. I think they keep it on the ground. You got to give credit to the offensive line once again. Tonight in the second half, it's Teddy Fitzpatrick in there. Also Damon Gibson, Jared Smith, the center, Mike White, and Kevin McCoy.
But it's Victor Strader around left end. He has some running room. Strader over the 30, the 25. He'll get down to the 23-yard line. Mark it at the 21, in fact. Victor Strader, 29 yards on the carry. The Indians with another first down. And the Indians are just doing whatever they want.
I'll tell you what, they got a heck of a 1-2 punch. Victor Strader and Dwayne Thompson have been playing together since they were maybe 10 years old. They've been playing organized football together, and they're definitely a great 1-2 punch. And add in tonight Garrett Livingston having a good game, and Gilmer and Graham, they got a solid backfield, do the Indians.
I think it's be a good time to hit Jeremy George on a slant over the middle, but Gilmer fumbles a snap. I think he's able to fall on the ball. And he does. Or retain possession. We'll call it a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11, approaching 8 minutes ago, third quarter. The Indians up by 28. The Indians ranked 2nd in the WPIAL behind North Allegheny, go figure. Ranked 3rd in the state. And the Indians definitely making believers of all who watches. There goes Dwayne Thompson on the pitch looking for some running room. Not able to find any. He'll pick up 2. Gets out to the 20-yard line. Now 3rd and 10 for the Indians. Bob, are the Indians going conservative as they get closer to the goal line?
Oh, not necessarily conservative, but you go into protect the ball mode. You don't want to turn it over, and especially a turnover that Mckeesport's defense could return for some points. And that's what I think the Indians are going to.
So 3rd and 10 for the Indians. Split wide to the near side. Jeremy George, Livingston, and Thompson in the backfield. And there goes a nice pass out to Victor Strader. He's unable to hold it. Lenny Gilmer quick with the quick look in. Leading Victor Strader just a bit far. We'll see if the Indians go for it. Maybe bring in Zakia. I think it would be a good opportunity to give Zakia practice on a long field goal. But the Indians will go for it on 4th and 9 from their Mckeesport 20-yard line.
But a blocked field goal can easily turn into a touchdown. So I think Penn Hills making the safer call. If they were at the 10-yard line, I'm sure they would go for the field goal. But from the 20, maybe see they quite that quick pop again.
Livingston and Thompson in the backfield. Lenny Gilmer slips, able to pick the ball up. But he will go, no, he gets out of the rush. Looking for someone to throw the football to, but he slips at the 25. He'll lose 5. and Mckeesport will take over. Did a nice job to break one tackle, to get out of the crowd. Yet he slips it to 25. We'll credit Mckeesport secondary. They did not give up on the coverage of Jeremy George.
I think you got to check Lenny Gilmer's cleats, maybe. Several times we've seen him slip. This time on the same play.
Maybe Mike White was
great elusiveness.
Wow. Isber with the pitch over to the far side, looking for some running room, nowhere to go. Called a pickup of about 5 for DuBray Patterson. Mike White, of course, a couple weeks ago, chewing on a cleat and watching the videotapes, breaks a molar. Of course, he says the tooth was replaced and all is well. But of all the things to chew on, a cleat. Not even Rich Emmer chews on cleats. Isber pitches to Monta Sifford, who looks for some running room, and he gets none. But he gets enough for a first down. In fact, he picks up 7 on what looked like to be a closed down play.
Now Mckeesport going to the outside more with the pitches. In the entire first half, they were unsuccessful on their 2 attempts at a pitch. One ended up in a fumble, but that's what they need to do. You break more big plays to the outside, and that's what they're trying to do.
Mike White, give him credit. He goes from the left side of the Penn Hills defense, coming to the far side of the field to make the tackle on Sifford. Isber again looking to throw the ball, and it is high for Paul Ball.
This is the catch-22 situation you get into when you're a running football team. When you get way behind, you got to throw the football. You just don't have enough reps in practice and enough reps in the game, and things like that happen. Isber's pass way too tall. Ball was wide open on a little 7-yard curl, but the pass was way too tall.
Way too tall for Paul Ball.
Would he be the ball control receiver?
Isber with the pitch. That's number 20, Dante Allen. And Allen looks like he's brought down by the face mask almost. And yes, he is. Starting to see the subs come in. It's number 19, Cheris Britt. Reached up for the face mask. And Britt looking for some playing time. And will not win favor with the coaches on that one, but give him credit. He pursued very nicely on the play. Monta Sifford with some nice speed. Britt showing some speed. Germany, Thompson, and Nick Brown in the secondary, along with Cheris Britt. See Hoggy Livingston in the linebacker with Ronnie Graham. Jeremy George, Mike White, Damon Gibson, Corey Connors. Isber with the keeper, and Ronnie Graham says hello. Also in is Raymond Lewis, number 87, for the Penn Hills Indians. I think this is an opportunity for the Indians perhaps to see what some of the underclassmen can do. Isber with the drop, looking downfield, and the pass batted away. Nice coverage by Victor Strader, Mike Radisic.
Mike Ratesic, and Ratesic with the big height advantage, 6'4". Victor Strader only 5'11", but Strader with excellent coverage.
The Indians definitely do not have much height in the secondary. Third down now for Mckeesport. Isber calling the play at the line of scrimmage. And Isber with the pitch, looking to go around the right side. Picking up a first down is Damian Simmons. Ronnie Graham on the tackle along with Cherish Britt. Good enough for a first down for Mckeesport. 4:15 to go third quarter. The Indians up by 28. Busting across the line, Casey Holtzman. And Bob, quite frankly, I'm surprised that Mckeesport is still running the ball as much as they are, doing the little dive plays.
Well, they're very methodical, but that's what their bread and butter is and their strength. They're hoping they can pop one through into the secondary and get a big one because time is definitely against them, and the longer their drive goes, the more time that comes off the clock.
Merrill Hodge in attendance at tonight's game, former Pittsburgh Steeler, now broadcaster. Greeted at the line of scrimmage is Monta Sifford. Mike White in on the tackle. Sifford rudely awakened. Third and 4 now for Mckeesport.
Isber having trouble getting the play signals in from the sideline, taking a long time.
Isber rolling to his right, looking out in the flat for Monta Sifford. Sifford gets across the 20, the 10, knocked out of bounds at about the 7-yard line, mark it at the 6. Sifford out of the slot. The short little reception into the flat brings it down to the 6, and the Indians in danger of losing the shutout. Of course, 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. Plenty of time left. So what a big touchdown it was, the opening kickoff by Dwayne Thompson. Getting down to the 5 is Dupree Patterson for Mckeesport. Damon Gibson in on the stop, along with Corey Connors. So now 2nd and goal for Mckeesport, and I do not think they will be kicking a field goal if they don't make it in on 3 tries. Billy Isber looking for the play from the sideline. Taking a lot of time to get this play off. Isber with the keeper, pitches back. Touchdown Mckeesport. Damian Simmons does get into the end zone. So it's now 28-6. Penn Hills, and I'm sure Mckeesport will go for 2. A lot of Riverview Raiders in attendance tonight, Bob. Coming right up the road from Oakmont. You see the Indians in Mckeesport. Of course, bad news for the Riverview Raiders this week. Steve Dapper, their leading rusher, team leader, broken fibula. It's a broken leg. He's out for the year. Mckeesport does go for the single point after, and it's no good. So it's now 28-6, Penn Hills, 2:07 to go third quarter, excuse me. And this game just rolling right along. Scott Caravan, Corey Connors, also in there, number 51, Randy Parker. We also saw Sean Booterball, and also number 63, Eric Longo. All linemen up front. After the last kickoff return, and there he is, the onside kick. That's picked up by Jeremy George. George slips, but still with some yardage up the middle. And Jeremy George with the hands gets the ball out to the 43. And the Indians will take over with 2:01 to go third quarter.
More of a squib. That's the type of kick that you hope that the second wave of the kick return team fumbles it around and picks it up. Not the typical onside kick where you try to drill it at a lineman. And that time it got through the second one. But Jeremy George, he had the good hands, picked it up and gets a nice 10, 12-yard return. And Penn Hills again will take some time off that clock.
Dwayne Thompson, he'll be lucky if he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Josh Lefkowitz makes the tackle, and we haven't called his name a lot. That's because a lot of times Penn Hills hasn't been stopped at the line of scrimmage.
So the Indians running to the right side behind Teddy Fitzpatrick and Devon Gibson. Jared Smith to center. And this time on the delay, it's Dwayne Thompson, and Thompson gets out to the, call it 46-yard line, but just over the 45. So
Mark Holtzman.
So now third down for the Indians as the clock rolls under a minute to go third quarter.
Holtzman wrapped him up for dear life. He saw that Thompson won't just go down easily, and he wrapped him up. And Holtzman's a good player for Mckeesport, only a junior, 6'4", 195.
Strader in the slot, George split to the near side. And there goes the pass, and it's picked off. There goes the turnover Mckeesport needed. Mark Holtzman on the interception. And the Mckeesport Tigers will have an opportunity to try to get back into this game with 26 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Interception number 1 on the season for Lenny Gilmer. Penn Hills has had 4 turnovers coming in tonight. They were all fumbles, and this is their first via the pass. Lenny Gilmer's first time intercepted. Holtzman takes it back 13 yards to the 37. So Mckeesport has a little bit of spark. Penn Hills defense needs to get top.
Clock rolling, approaching 15 seconds to go, third quarter. Isber looking to throw the football. He's going deep for Ball. Ball has it at the 5. He'll mark it at the 1. Paul Ball using the height advantage over Dwayne Thompson and Victor Strader. Pulls the ball in, and he's brought down at the goal line. With 3 seconds to go in the third quarter, and that will probably be the last play. And that is the last play of the third quarter. So as the fourth quarter begins, the Mckeesport Tigers will be knocking at the door. Fourth quarter about to begin with Mckeesport at the goal line, first and goal. They'll have 4 chances to knock it in. Along with Bob Orquist, I'm Bill Navari. Great to have you along on an exciting Friday night of high school football here in Penn Hills. The Indians trying to remain perfect in conference play and on the season. The Mckeesport Tigers, the defending state champions, trying to get back into it. And Billy Isber on the keeper gets into the end zone. So now it's 28-12 Penn Hills, and I'm sure this time Mckeesport will go for 2.
Took them 2 plays after the turnover to go 37 yards in the big pass. And Mckeesport definitely has changed the complexion of this game. 3 seconds into the fourth quarter, did they go for 2? They're only down 2 touchdowns. So, the big kickoff return for a touchdown is looming larger, but Penn Hills,
absolutely.
I mean, Mckeesport hasn't quit. You got to give them credit.
So into the backfield is Casey Holtzman, Dupree Patterson, and Damian Simmons. And Isber on the keeper pitches it back to Patterson. Patterson looking for some running room around the right side, and he'll get into the end zone. What looked like a busted play turns into 2 points for Mckeesport. Now 28-14, the Indians lead with 11:57 to go in the game. So now if Dwayne Thompson doesn't return the opening kickoff of the second half for a touchdown, it's only 21-14.
Now what Penn Hills needs definitely get a little bit of a sustained drive going to calm down some of the momentum. Mckeesport has to have some confidence. They get the touchdown on the nice drive, a 12-play drive, and this one only 2 plays after the interception by Mark Holtzman. They go 37 yards in those 2 plays. And once again, the Achilles heel, the pass play, bites the Indians. The 36-yarder to the 1-yard line that set up the Isber touchdown.
So now we'll see if the Mckeesport Tigers try the onside kick again. Plenty of time in this game for Mckeesport to get back into it. So I won't be surprised if they do kick it away. Then again, we won't be surprised if they do onside kick it.
So we're saying we just won't be surprised whatever happens.
So the interception sets up a touchdown for Mckeesport. And another squib kick. And again, it's Jeremy George. And George is brought down just over the 30-yard line at the 31. So they're kicking it to Jeremy George, who has some great hands.
Well, that time, the man in the middle for Penn Hills. That was intended to try to be a hard kick right at the Penn Hills front line. And they just got out of the way. Last time, they may have tried the same thing, kind of an onside kick, but a safe onside kick where you get some yardage.
I think it's a case of maybe keeping the ball away from Dwayne Thompson.
Could also be that.
So Garrett Livingston, maybe a yard, and the Mckeesport Tigers are fired up, and the Indians should watch out.
Sean Booterball's in the middle of the line, and Mckeesport's definitely fired up. They have definitely felt the momentum switch. Penn Hills needs a couple of big plays to settle things down.
Victor Strader, second man throw, and some running room. Victor Strader, 20, 15, 10, touchdown, Victor Strader. Second man through on the delayed handoff. Victor Strader runs 66 yards, and the Indians go back up. 34-14, Penn Hills now. And on the second play, following the Mckeesport touchdown, the Indians on the long run. And those long runs have bailed out the Indians.
67, the scoreboard is incorrect. The ball is at the 33-yard line. So 67 yards, Victor Strader, and it doesn't take time off the clock, but it gives you points, what you need. They are a dangerous 1-2 punch, and Strader is definitely over 100 yards. 149 yards on
Strader's
9 carries.
The Jeremy George kick, and Zakia's point after is good. So now 35-14 Penn Hills with 10:50 to go in the game. And this is the most points the Penn Hills Indians have put on the board all season. They tied last week's total of 35. So 2 back-to-back weeks, the Indians put 35 points on the 70 points in 2 weeks. And earlier in the season, the Indians were struggling offensively to get the ball into the end zone.
It's impressive, Bill. It's a lot of points put on the board, all via the ground and via some long runs. We saw Dwayne Thompson with a 57-yarder and a 70-yarder. Now tonight a 67-yarder for Victor Strader. And for Victor Strader, his second touchdown, he had a 40-yarder earlier this season against North Hills.
I don't think we'll see the Indians put the ball in the air again in this game. So now Zakia to kick off. And Zakia booms one. The ball will be taken at the 4. A nice tackle. Tackle made by Rodley Lewis and Ramon Lewis, the sophomore and the junior. It was Monta Sifford on the return. But what a kick by Zakia. Gets the ball down inside the 5.
To the 4-yard line. He did boom that one.
We've seen him kick 50-yard field goals in practice. What a leg. So now we'll see if the Indian defense can hold the Mckeesport offense off the board.
End around.
End around for Mckeesport. Out to the 34-yard line goes Ben Johnson. First time we've called his number tonight. And he's listed as a GB.
It's definitely not Ben Johnson, the Olympic sprinter.
We'll ask Rich Emmert, what is a GB?
Good body, I don't know.
Okay. Good. We'll call it a good back. Mike White shaking up a little bit on the play, favoring the ankle. So we'll see now on the line, number 59, Sean Booterbaugh, who scored over 1,200 on his SAT.
You did better than I, which of course isn't hard.
Picking up the first down for Mckeesport, Dupree Patterson. So now with 10:02 to go, fourth quarter, Mckeesport back down by 3 touchdowns. I think they may have to start putting the ball in the air a little bit.
Yeah, they can't afford to really have like a 12-play drive like their first touchdown drive, because they need 3 touchdowns, at least 3 scores to try to take back the lead.
Isbro pitching back to Damian Simmons. And he's greeted in the backfield by Jeremy George and Donnie Chichilla.
And he slips and falls. And here's the difference between a Penn Hills offense and a Mckeesport offense, the big strike potential. Big runs, a 17-yarder by Livingston, a 67-yarder by Strader, and a big 88-yard kick return on the special teams for Dwayne Thompson, whereas Mckeesport, their big play capabilities severely limited this season.
Isbro pitching back and brought down in the backfield by Garrett Livingston is Dante Allen. Hoggy Livingston bringing Allen down for a loss. So now third and a lot for Mckeesport.
Should be third and about 17.
Flag down on the play. We'll see what the call is. And it's holding by Mckeesport.
They'll definitely decline that.
And it will be declined. Good call, Bob.
Sometimes, Bill, Penn Hill's speed on defense is just downright scary. That's what made it on that play.
Offense is scary as well.
With Hoggy Livingston. Yeah, we should say their speed overall, but you see a lot of times plays like that, individual efforts. Livingston all of a sudden, zap, he got the ball carrier for a 3-yard loss just that quickly.
Hoggy Livingston moved to inside linebacker for this game. Picked a straighter deep at center field. Third and, we'll call it 17. And Isber rolling to his left. Passing out to the flat, and the ball will be picked off by Damian Germany. Damian Germany with the big pick. The Indians take over at the Mckeesport 44. Second turnover tonight for Mckeesport.
And second interception on the season for Damian Germany.
Damian Germany with the big interception at Seneca Valley to keep the Red Raiders off the scoreboard.
Well, we have a new quarterback, too, for Penn Hills. Charis Britt, number 19. And as when you have a second-team offense coming in, you have mix-up, and Penn Hills, well, they had 10 men on the field, and DeJuan Poston had a hustle into the field there.
Of course, as we call a lot of new numbers, Hoggy Livingston still with the carry. Coming in, number 25, Justin Cole. Seen Justin make some big plays on defense coming out to Juan Poston. Far side, Ronnie Graham split. And it's Dwayne Thompson again.
Nick Brown.
Wait, Nick Brown? No. So the Indians getting a lot of the underclassmen into the game. Now coming in, number 32, Rashad Reed. The junior running back.
That's what you got to do. It's an opportune time to get them not only experience, but also to avoid injuring your starters.
43, John Davison split to the far side as we approach 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Charis Britt with the keeper. Britt gets down to the 20-yard line on a busted play, and the Indians are still moving the football. It's scary when even the subs start making big plays.
Britt will pick up 17. 13th first down on the evening for Penn Hills. Ball exactly at the 20.
Britt coming to the sideline. Get to play off head coach Neil Gordon.
And Britt has good size. He's also a junior, as is Gilmer, 6'3" and 195.
Randy Parker in doing the centering. Number 51. And this time it's Rashad Reed. Also in number 64, Scott Caravlan. Of course, number 32, Rashad Reed, the last ball carrier. Number 43 is John Davidson.
Craig Gilmer is in there, the younger brother of Lenny Gilmer at
Justin
the
Cole,
tight end
number 25.
position.
Lamont Mabin, number 80. Seeing the Indians of the future. And Rashad Reed again with the carry, getting down to the 13-yard line. 5:50 to go, running clock, fourth quarter. The Indians 35, Mckeesport 14. And you know these underclassmen want to put the ball into the end zone to impress the coaching staff.
Eric Longo in there on the offensive line.
Corey Connors, number 69, still in.
Randy Parker.
And this time Rashad Reed is met in the backfield quite rudely. Number 52, Terrence McCall. So it'll be 4th and 5, and the Indians will go for it.
Sean Booterball in there, as you mentioned, and you'll have that when you have a unit that is not getting a lot of reps, as is the second string offense, and sometimes there'll be gaps, and that time you made the call. Reed was rudely met in the backfield.
We'll see if Britt puts the ball in the air. I doubt it. But it's Justin Cole around the near side. Holding will be called on the play. If he doesn't pick up the first down, I'm sure it'll be declined. And Victor Cole brought down after pickup of about a yard. Looked like Lamont Mabin perhaps being over-aggressive.
They'll decline that penalty, definitely.
Of course, the penalty will be declined, and the Mckeesport Tiger offense will take over with 4:38 to go, down by 3 touchdowns, and the crowd begins to file out. I think Coach Neil Gordon will definitely be smoking the Macanudo I gave him in honor of my son's birth. Said he would partake of a fine cigar if the Indians were triumphant, and it appears they will be, barring any sort of bizarre turn of events.
And your son will be back for the playoffs, I might add. He's on the shelf 4 to 6 weeks.
Born, as sometimes happens, with a broken collarbone.
And good size. Your son was born 8'4", am I correct?
8 pounds, 4 ounces, and he was almost 2 weeks early.
Offensive lineman in your future?
I'll tell you what, 2 weeks early, 8 pounds, 4 ounces. There's no fat on this kid. He's already 5 days old, and he's picking himself up, rolling over. New quarterback in for Mckeesport. That's number 3.
Ben Johnson.
Excuse me, Ben Johnson. Johnson runs a good way to pick up 3.
Get more than 3. Try 14.
So he took him to his first pediatrician visit today and discovered the broken collarbone. Of course, little Joseph Matthew doesn't seem to mind it too much. Whistles fly. Number 47, Brad Tasarchik, a linebacker for the Indians.
He wanted to make the tackle instead of hearing the whistle for the penalty. Nick Brown in there.
Devon Morrell
in the middle.
Devon Morrell.
Scott Davis.
T-Rex. See if we hear the roar of the T-Rex at all. Scott Davis is number 36. 81, Craig Gilmer, younger brother of Lenny.
Rotley Lewis in there on defense now.
So the Tigers keep it on the ground.
And Rotley makes me look good as he makes a tackle for a loss.
Also in, big number 72, Anthony DiMaria, 6'2", 302. We'll call him Anthony the Svelte, Anthony the Slender. Let us call him. dropped about 80 pounds in the offseason.
Eric Longo in there at nose tackle.
Johnson's going to throw the football.
Well, he pitches it back to Dante Allen.
And Nick Brown on the tackle.
And Allen will lose another yard.
Nick Brown and his band of renown.
Very good.
I like that one. Angelo Guy, number 30, the sophomore, also in. Third and 15 now for the Tigers. Clock rolling under 3 minutes to go. Johnson looking back, the pass, laying a pass out, and ball overthrown. The pass was intended for Mike Radisick, but the ball came closer to Justin Cole. So now 4th down for Mckeesport, 4th and 15. And I'm sure the punt rush will not be on.
And especially
2:55 to go, the Indians up by 21.
Especially since they're going for it. Wow. You were oblivious to my comment.
What was that?
I said no punt rush because they're not punting.
And the ball goes back to the Indians. Say Nick Brown slowing up number 20, Donate Allen, but also in to break up the tackle. A couple of other Indian defenders. Britt with the keeper up the middle. Needs to put 2 hands on the ball. We'll get down to the 16. As we approach 2:35 to go here in the 4th quarter, the Indians 35, the Tigers 14. Rich Emmert brings out the computer and starts writing tomorrow's story. It'll be Saturday's story in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
Please
the only
pick it
paper
up.
who
You
got
all
last week's game right.
You can't pick up Saturday's paper because you won't see this till Tuesday, but please do pick up an edition of the Tribune Review.
Nice running by Nick Brown. That has to impress the coaching staff as Brown gets down to the 5-yard line, excuse me. 1st and goal now for the Indians with 2:09 to go in the 4th quarter.
And like you said, Bill, they want to score. There's no doubt about it.
I'm sure this isn't a case of the Indians wanting to rub it in, but it is the second team.
Oh, they're not throwing the ball in. Joe Paterno isn't on their sideline, so.
Ouch.
Oh, Joe Pa, he knows I'm just kidding.
Again, it's Nick Brown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nick Brown, touchdown. We'll call him touchdown Nick Brown. 1:49 to go. The Indians now, with the most points they've scored this season, they are at 41, looking to tack on to make it 42. And we'll ask Rich Emmert if he expected a game like this. And he says no. So the Indians still making believers of all who watch them. Dave Zakia in. Jeremy George on the snap. Victor Strader on the hold. Laces in. The ball goes up, and it's good. So 42-14. The Indians in 2 weeks, 77 points. And this is a team that prides itself on defense.
Just picking it up offensively. They came into the game after the big performance last week, averaging 21.5 points a game, and they'll improve on that. Before last week, they've scored 14-0 victories over Butler in Week 1 at Seneca Valley in Week 3, and of course their non-conference opener at Andrew J. Uhas was a 23-7 win over North Hills. But you said it, Bill, 77 points in 2 weeks, and the offense has been explosive in the past 2 weeks. The running attack especially.
As the crowd continues to file out, I see School Board President Frank Grieco still in attendance, as well as Penn Hills Mayor Bill DeSantis, always proud of the Penn Hills community and everything about it. Still in attendance at tonight's game, along with his lovely wife, Rachel. Of course, sitting with my mom.
The proud grandmother.
Yes. This is number 7.
Bill's mom. Grandmother at age 37.
She'll be up to bestow kisses upon you next week, Bob. Although she doesn't look much older than 37, I'll grant you that. Always good to score points with Mom. Dave Zakia with a little pooch kick. And looks like the Indians may come up with another. Mckeesport Tigers do. Holy cow. What do you make of that, Bob?
Not much you can make of it. We were talking about the onside kick in the pregame, and Mckeesport kind of attempted a few. And I think that was just more of a pooch kick, as we had the special teams on now. Second and third stringers in there for the Indians, and second and third stringers in there for Mckeesport. And they just batted it all around.
We'll throw a theory at you.
Charles Darwin. The only theory I know.
The Indians just with the pooch kick as to not kick the ball away, maybe perhaps trying to prevent some injuries. This late in the game, it's obviously decided at 42-14.
I don't know what their thinking would be on that.
Ben Johnson with the keeper. Johnson still with some running room, and he's brought down by touchdown Nick Brown, who saves the touchdown. So with 1:09 to go, the Tigers have a first down at the Penn Hills 42. And I think it's a bit of a lot late. So the Indians appear to be avenging their loss at the hands of the Mckeesport Tigers last year. But I'm sure the second team defense looking to keep the Tigers off the board again. As number 20, Dante Allen with the carry. Tackle made by number 48, Sally Grice. The 6'1", 194-pound senior. Excuse me, he's 5'8", 185. He has some speed. A lot of speed on the Indians team. Johnson looking to throw the ball. Looking downfield into the end zone. The ball thrown a little too far. Nice coverage on the plane by DeJuan Poston and number 25, Justin Cole. Justin Cole, who came up big in the Seneca Valley game a few weeks ago. Also in North Hills. So second and 10 with 31 seconds to go in the football game. The Indians will move to 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 overall, as tonight marks the midway point of the season. And the Tigers jump. So now it'll be second and 15, but I'm sure that won't matter too much because the Tigers, no doubt, will put the ball into the air to try at least make the score look semi-respectable.
Ben Johnson is their quarterback, not necessarily their backup, but he's only 5'8", 145. That's a little bit of a disadvantage when you're going to throw the football. I think he has a couple nice runs, and Penn Hills second and third teamers doing a good job playing aggressive and enthusiastically.
Johnson with the keeper. Nice tackle from behind by Rodley Lewis, the 6'2", 200-pound junior. Seen a lot of new names and faces in, Bob. Also number 82, Chai Boyd. Remember him from last year making some big plays, and he's still only a junior.
Be our final play of the game.
Johnson with the pitch. In pursuit of the Indians. And nice play by number 20, DeJuan Poston, on the final play of the game. Mckeesport Tigers 19-game conference winning streak ends at 19, and the Indians' conference streak continues at 6. Of course, big game next week as Indians will take on the Woodland Hills Wolverines, but let's savor tonight's victory. The Penn Hills Indians knock off the defending state champion, Mckeesport Tigers. Penn Hills 42, Mckeesport 14. You're watching Penn Hills Indians Football 95. As the band plays on, the Mckeesport Tigers, the defending champions of the state of Pennsylvania, 19-game conference winning streak comes to an end tonight as the Penn Hills Indians knock off Mckeesport 42-14 as the Indians go to 2-0 in the Quad East, and the Mckeesport Tigers fall to 1-1. And Bob, the Penn Hills Indians tonight did it all on the ground.
An impressive performance. They have 302 yards of total offense, 260 plus of those coming via the running game. And that's not including the 88-yard touchdown return by Dwayne Thompson with the opening kickoff of the second half. And Victor Strader, the man tonight, 9 carries, 139 yards rushing, including the big 67-yard touchdown run. An impressive performance by Ground Gordon.
As you talk about Ground Gordon, 5 games into the season, the Indians are 5-0. 4 of the 5 games, they've had 100-yard rushers, and it's been between 2 guys.
They've been splitting the task, apparently. Dwayne Thompson has had 200-yard games. Last week he had the big performance against Plum. Victor Strader's 100-yard game tonight, and earlier in the season he had 100 yards or more, a big game against the North Hills Indians. So they've been doing a great job spreading the ball around. And tonight, an impressive performance by Hoggy Livingston, who has kind of been the forgotten man. He had the big 17-yard touchdown run, and he picked up good ground yardage.
As we talk about the offense putting 42 points on the board tonight, we also have to give credit to the Penn Hills Indian defense, who held the Mckeesport Tigers scoreless in the first half as they went into the locker room 21-0. A couple of late touchdowns by the Mckeesport Tigers just to get them on the board. But still, credit to Penn Hills defense.
Again, the defense shutting down that running game. A big pass play in the second half set up the second Mckeesport touchdown by quarterback Bill Isber. But the defense, as they've done all year, a great job. And they pretty much shut down the running attack. And they knew Mckeesport was going to run the football at them. And they shut it down, held them in check. It got a little bit hairy there for a while. It was 28-14. But then they came back with 2 late touchdowns. But really never in danger of having this game get out of their control were the Penn Hills, both offensively and defensively.
The Penn Hills Indians are in the conference schedule. We'll go into next week. They have 3 very big games with Mckeesport, Woodland Hills, and Central Catholic. They got one of the wins in against Mckeesport. Next week it's Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills with the running attack, but they also can put the ball in the air, and that seems to be Penn Hills' weakness so far.
They do like to throw the football, and Penn Hills victimized very badly by Plum last week, and a couple of pass plays tonight from Mckeesport, who doesn't really throw the football that well. But it's an afternoon game. Next Saturday will be the game against Woodland Hills. And you talk about rivalries and games that are very, very intense. The Wolverines and the Indians. It gets very, very intense out there on the field.
It always seems the winner of the Penn Hills-Woodland Hills game always makes it to the playoffs. It always seems that way, too, with Penn Hills and Mckeesport. But, of course, Mckeesport knocked off the Indians the last few years, and the Indians haven't made the playoffs in 2 years. They missed the last 2 years. Hopefully they can continue their winning ways. 5-0 now, 2-0 in the conference. Hopefully it can continue next week. And we're looking for perhaps the defense really going to be put up to the task next week, as they stood tall this week.
Indeed, it seems like every week they're going to be put up to the task. The Quad East is so tough. Last year, 2 losses in the conference for Penn Hills came against Mckeesport and Woodland Hills. This year, they got Mckeesport out of the way. Next Saturday, it's Woodland Hills and another tough task. George Novak and the boys, I'm sure they're going to be pumped up coming here on a Saturday afternoon.
But, of course, the Penn Hills Indian offense looking for hopefully another great game next week, as they did tonight, putting up mega yardage on the ground
and mega points.
And mega points. The most the most points scored so far this season, 42, and that's the final score, 42-14. The Penn Hills Indians over the Mckeesport Tigers. Join us next Saturday afternoon as the Penn Hills Indians take on the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Penn Hills Indians 2-0 in the conference, 5-0 through the midpoint of the season. Join us next Saturday here on Penn Hills Indians 95.